All right, so I guess there's just something wrong with the connector. Hello, hello, hello. Just 1 second, let me go ahead and mic up here. So anyway, in 2008, I think it was 2008, my brother Heavy Baker acted for it's from a woman who was apparently attacking my family. My brother used to say that they were the neighbors were the nicest people in the world, and they ended up punching my family and whatnot, punching my parents, which I think they kidnapped later on. Gonna sit there and make it look like you have psychiatric problems. Very likely that they're dead. Actually, I'm not sure. And yeah, in regards to like the Southern White House, as the president likes to put it here, yeah, this is a huge terrorist zone. And usually these people like to use immigrants, who are kind of clueless about the ropes in the United States in order to waste them and replace them. And really clueless people. And it seems to be a terrorist breeding haven for that kind of thing. So I wanted to give you a heads up on this. My brother really was the one that Baker acted. The reason I'm doing this to my brother is I asked him for a little help in regards to, because I haven't been able to get a job ever since the Baker Act and whatnot, which probably made the situation worse. And it seems to be kind of convenient. My brother was always this really really creepy neat freak. I'm a little bit of a neat freak, but I'm not anything like that. And kind of adverse towards me, kind of weird. Anyway, in this situation, I had ordered a bicycle wheel to replace my kind of destroyed bike wheel, and I had asked my brother to help me out with that, at least help me be able to bike around, at least for transportation and to get food and whatnot. And he didn't do that. In fact, he got really upset, and he tried to throw my aunt at me and attempted to, how can I put it this way, push a house door into my face. He was very, very violent about it. It was kind of unexpected. I didn't realize that he was a psychopath. I didn't know that. He literally like shoved the front door into my face. And I had asked him for a couple of bucks so I can buy some paper and a couple of smokes. And he's being really, really aggressive about that. And I had asked him to take me to the hospital to have my lip looked at a second time because it was a follow-up appointment, and he completely blew me off. It's just really, really aggressive behavior coming from him. I ended up having my family members in here pick up some stuff, and I'm not so sure about what the fuck's going on. They are bragging about reading my mind, and occasionally my brother does too. So it's possible that my family's been dead for a really long time. Remember when the movie Ice Pirates came out back in the day? My brother got in a really violent accident, and he was dating the girl he was dating with. Like that was it. I had gone to see the movie with him, and later on, with the same girl he was dating, around in the same year, he ended up getting in a really vicious accident. He might have been killed back in the day, because he was really nice to me. We would sit there and go to the movies together and whatnot, and he'd take me even along with his girlfriend or whatnot. And she was really, really nice to me. And suddenly, my brother became this evil thing. And it's very possible my brother was murdered a long time ago. He stopped being very nice. Now, what am I doing here? Why am I having this conversation with you? All right, my brother works for a medical firm called, they used to be called McKesson. It was MCL, believe it or not. And it's an airport code for the Orlando International Airport. And, he's not the brightest tool in the shed, and he really doesn't stick to one discipline. We're kind of alike in that regard, but the only difference is one of the reasons I don't stick to one discipline is because I can do a lot of things all at once. I can multitask quite well, actually, especially with the wondrous thing that I enjoy called the computer. So, my brother may have falsified some documents. He really was a pilot. We both have this passion for flying and for going up really, really high. And going up high does not mean taking drugs. We just love fucking heights. Maybe that's the only thing that makes me suggest that we're related, but I seriously doubt it. I love high speeds and heights and birds and whatnot. When I was a kid, I was just studying birds. Anyway, as I mentioned in that post, so I found two of these. Let's see if you can have a look at that. See that? In his room. I don't falsify information because it can cost you your entire job scope. Once you falsify something like this and you use it for a job, you'll never get a job again. So I'm pretty careful, and I leave it to where if you call the FBI or anybody or about any information in regards to my resume, they'll confirm it. But that doesn't mean they do anything about it. It's this weird relationship with the FBI. My father is not a cop. My brother is not a cop. My brother was never a police officer or any member of the authoritative figures in the United States. If that is the case, that is an imposter and more than likely an invading terrorist. And it's a horrible thing to say about my brother, but I really we're not doing okay here. They have a look-alike of my sister-in-law in the house next door here on the right with the dog that bit me. So the invasion is pretty violent, and they love attacking the psychiatric aspects. Anyway, I ended up, my brother was in debt, and the strange thing is that the debt that he owed to these particular organizations was $14, and he still hasn't paid it. So it's possible that he's been dead for a long time, and this is just somebody who wants to fight the United States or something, or fight somebody. Anyway, I really was robbed by Bank of America via Freedom Pop. Freedom Pop went and called in on my PayPal account and withdrew monies. With a phone call, I didn't authorize them to do that. I just simply bought a SIM card from them for their services, and they robbed me to the tune of $200 and put me in overdraft and created this situation for me financially. I had everything kind of calculated out, and they just went ahead and destabilized it. And the FBI didn't do anything about it, and the cops really didn't do anything about it, and the Department of Treasury didn't do much, of course, and a couple of other organizations that I contacted. Excuse me, this is still itchy. A couple of organizations that I contacted, including United States authority figures, did not do squat about this situation. So I'm declaring Bank of America as a fraudulent organization that is probably funneling funds to terrorist groups via overseas banking practices. And that's about it. And PayPal is probably doing the same thing. So those guys look pretty foreign to me. And, I like Indies, and I like some Middle Easterners. I just don't embrace the whole, blow up America syndrome, because I live here and these people saved my life when I was born, for real. So not quite sure what to do. So I'm posting this on this feed, and enjoy it.